Obock, at first sight, an idyllic fishing town, but also a refuge for over 2,000 Yemeni people. Among them, Ali. He fled his home in Aden, Yemen's second city, in August last year.
We fled Yemen to escape the war, to flee from death. We had nothing to eat. The war has spared no one. Children, women, all the families were forced to flee.
His new home, this tent on a box outskirts, is a tough place to be stuck.
There are sandstorms, there are strong winds, and the temperatures rise to 50 degrees centigrade in the shade. These weather hazards make it very difficult to earn a living here.
But returning home isn't an option. Despite a recent ceasefire, the situation in Yemen, just over 20 kilometers across the Red Sea, remains volatile. And not just for Yemenis. African migrants who've crossed from Obock have been getting caught in the crossfire, causing them to flee right back to this Djiboutian fishing port. The International Organization for Migration has set up a transit camp for returnees, including Saeed, a 25-year-old Ethiopian. He and 6 fellow migrants were arrested by Yemeni troops en route to Saudi Arabia.
They told us to gather by some crops, but one of my friends, Abu Salah, was shot. The troops opened fire on all of us. My friend, his bone was crushed.
Saeed was held in prison for over 3 months, but he's finally on his way home.
Present.
He's one of 87 Ethiopians being repatriated voluntarily tonight, in his case, for good.
I would rather use my God-given energy to help my brothers at home. I wouldn't leave my country again. I'll advise Ethiopians not to try to go, because I have seen the misery myself.
And yet, some Ethiopians are still embarking on this migrant route, crossing mountain ranges, then warily tracing the contours of main roads through Djibouti, avoiding police patrols. This group has just arrived in Obock, intending to cross the Red Sea to find work in Saudi Arabia. Fetoum is banking that they'll succeed. He's done it before, he says.
I was working every day. I looked after goats as a daily laborer, and I harvested crops. The women normally find housework. The plan is to improve our lives a little and eventually return home.
Fetoum and his friends appear relaxed, despite the dangers ahead. They'll lie low, hoping to persuade local fishermen to ferry them by night.